Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new HarstemCasts video. Today we're gonna be having a look at a best of 3 play between, in the bottom left, spawning as the blue Terran player, the man, the myth, the legend, ByuN. And in the bottom right, spawning as the red zerg player, is going to be Ragnarok. Fun little series. As we see on Blackburn, it's going to be the map. Map that tends to be pretty favored for Terran, at least when I talk to the Zerg players. When I talk to the Terran players, they actually agree with me as well. They say yes, that is indeed a Terran favorite map. It's one of the better maps in the map pool for Terran, combination with Beckett. There's a couple of good maps in the map pool for Terran, honestly. Oxide, Beckett, Blackburn, all of these maps feeling very, very nice for Terran at this moment. We have the first barracks coming down on the side of ByuN. Second barracks coming down on the side of ByuN, and with the positioning of this barracks, this is starting to look a lot like Reapers. Now, I'm gonna say this, I think this could be 3 Rex Reaper still, and then he would truly be going back to his roots. I haven't seen that being played. I know that some people do like to play 2 Rex Reaper into like a 2-1-1, and then they get 3 to 5 Reapers, if I recall correctly. We'll see what ByuN decides to do. ByuN, of course, known for his very solid Reaper control, but not only that, also known for his 2-1-1. If you think back of how he won his BlizzCon back in 2016, this was off the back of mainly 3 Rex Reaper builds, thus Reaper builds, and 2-1-1 openers. And this usually tends to go into a 2-1-1 because it just naturally follows. You already have these 2 barracks. It kind of transitions into that nicely. Now, think of Ragnarok as a player as one of the more Lingbane Muda focused players. He's one of those guys that loves to get Mutalisk in any way, shape or form. And especially if you... he reminds me a bit of DRG. DRG lately has been exactly the same, where no matter the opener, they try to get into Mutalisk eventually. If they open double Evo before layer, if they go fast layer, triple base, sometimes they even go double hatchery into layer, and then basically 4 gas 2 base spire. All of these things are viable. We see an SCV block here on the 3rd base, and actually the 2nd Reaper going down to the natural to make sure that no drone can escape from there. I kind of like that here out of ByuN. He's now going to join up both of these Reapers. We'll take out this Ling. And I don't think, no, doesn't look like Ragnarok is going to be capable of sneaking out a drone and building a hatchery. Which means that Ragnarok is going to be stuck on 2 bases for quite a while. At the same time, we do of course have a delayed command center on the side of ByuN as well. He's going to try to jump in, go for this queen. Needs to be careful though that he doesn't lose any of these Reapers. There goes the first Reaper. That's actually just kind of bad. Queen is very low in HP, but so is that 2nd Reaper. Needs to be careful, ByuN. Okay, he's gonna jump in with another Reaper. Might end up losing this Reaper, but does get the Queen. That's 2 Reapers for a Queen, but if you're delaying your own natural so much, you don't want even trades. What you want is you want way better trades. Right now, Ragnarok is actually in a pretty okay spot. We do see a bunker here on the 3rd base. Is gonna delay the 3rd hatcheries from the Zerg. Forward base is not capable of being taken. I asked Lambo about it because this is one of the things that Terran seem to do a lot. Like the bunker on the 3rd base is kind of common on this map. And I was like, hey, why is that? And it's because the forward base for Zerg is not really properly takeable. I think tanks over here are too strong. Like there's too many good positions here, basically, in this triangle shape that make it very difficult for Zerg to take that as a 4th base. And Ragnarok knows that. He's like, okay, I'm just going to play 2 base instead. He's going to go down to check if there's a bunker there. Well, I'm not sure if that was his goal, but he will find a bunker there. So that's nice for him as he starts his layer. Extra gases going down. And as we see 4 gases, Baneling Nest, this can only really be a Spire. ByuN, on the other hand, still on a relatively low worker count, but is going for that 2-1-1 that I was talking about. It's really the only natural follow-up out of this. So you don't have to have a crystal ball and not know how that crystal ball works in order for you to be able to kind of guess that. Scout coming in pretty deep here out of ByuN. I like that. Stands around a bit too much though. Could have probably gone into the natural and seen the Spire, but I feel like ByuN has a good idea what's going on here. He should know. It's like, hey, wait, this is weird. Like, my opponent's on 2 base, gonna throw down an eBay right now, probably get a turret or something like that, and then the 3rd base should go down ASAP after this 2-1-1. kind of ends. He's gonna get maybe a tank first though. Maybe delay his third base a bit. Yeah, there goes the tank. Spire is pretty far away, and Ragnarok is getting baneling speed as well. There's not that much creep either. I mean, how many tumors are we at? 2 active tumors, so really we have 2 directions of creep spread, not counting the main base, of course. It seems like ByuN is actually heading there. Not the biggest fan of this, however. Ragnarok currently not in position. We'll see it in the last second. Sends his links over. I don't think ByuN is going to be able to do too much here. Might try to dive in for 1 or 2 drones. Not quite going to catch it though. He's going to end up losing 1 or 2 marines and he needs to run away. But creep spread remains relatively big. First few mutas right now are on the way out. This Overlord is being taken out, so that's a nice pick off there for ByuN. But overall, not the greatest start. It's actually going to be going into 3 racks. I don't quite know what my thoughts are on this 3 racks rather than going into a 3rd CC. Very often I feel like 3 racks is a little bit... a little bit what actually? It's just not great. It's a little bit bad. Oh, and this first drop is getting caught out. Did not expect the mutas this quick. Not microing either with these... the pickups were pretty late. So now all of a sudden, yes, we do have an equal worker count, which tends to be good for Terran. But because there's no 3rd base yet, the income is actually going to be in favor of Ragnarok here. His creep spread sure isn't great. His stack, his upgrades, all not... Well, his stack is okay. His upgrades aren't great. His eco isn't great, but the eco of his opponent is even worse. And with the mutas, you can really keep a decent amount of units at home. Comes the first marine kill. Like I said, Ragnarok is a very enthusiastic mutalist player, and he has fantastic micro with them. It's very quick, good minimap awareness as well. She's flying around with the flying T-Rexes. Gonna see if we can do some damage here. He's very active with these. Look at the speeds currently that Ragnarok is playing with. 600-700 APM here, and it's all in that muta control. Tries to get a shot off on those tanks, doesn't quite get it, and he just keeps flying around. Meanwhile, having enough banelings at home in order to deal with some type of move out. Actually finds a couple of marines that were standing around, and 5 of those marines are going to end up falling. Good micro, not a single mutalisk has gone down. 2 mutas have gone down. I'm not sure if that was in this first fight, or I don't think that happened just now. I don't think I've seen that mutalisk count decrease. That means that Ragnarok right now is actually forcing ByuN to kind of go back. I mean, if the reinforcements can't get safely towards this army, that just means that ByuN is in a little bit of trouble. Tanks are taking damage. You can't send SCVs there to repair it, because you can't really send the SCVs there randomly. Always run the risk of the mutas finding them. I really feel like Ragnarok is extremely aware. He's gonna go, whoa, this is such a lovely run by here, right? The movement of Ragnarok and the ability to always find counter damage in these games is very uncanny. He's just so good at it. These 2 marines are most likely gonna get picked up. No. Ragnarok says, I don't need to. ByuN isn't aware of these links up there. Tries to take out some rocks of his own. Make sure that his rally towards this high ground becomes a little bit easier. Doesn't need to move through the slow zone. Mutalisks are scouting, and these are not mutalisks that are necessarily looking to do a lot of damage. No, these mutas are seeing, hey, can I go in with my counter attack? And the answer here is going to be yes. All of these depots are up. +1 is finishing in 12 seconds. Mutalisks are going to save, or at least going to assist these links. Now the depots are going to be taken out. +1 melee is finishing up, and these links and mutas are actually going to be able to break through here. A lot of these marines are falling. We see some creep has been taken out, but I don't actually like this position very much for ByuN. He's moving forward slowly but surely. The links get cleaned up in the main base, but now the mutas can actually return back home. There's a lot of banelings here. None of the tanks are actually sieged up. Ragnarok is just absolutely destroying this army right now. +1 melee is done. 11 more banelings on the way in the back of this, and GG gets called as ByuN sees no possibility to continue on in this game. He loses game number 1 in one of the most Terran favored maps in the entire map pool, and that's looking scary against a player like Ragnarok. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 here is going to be played on, well, 2000 atmospheres, as Ragnarok is going to be heading for a quick scout with these drones. Interesting, to say the least. See if he finds anything. Well, we'll know he won't find anything. Of course, Ragnarok is not quite aware of that. Let's see what he's doing. desperately looking for any potential proxy Rexes. Scouts the entire left side, and with the Overlord sees majority of the right side. If there were proxy Rexes here, it would mean they would be pretty far away. They could be over here technically, or here. Here is the closest option, but such a risky position, right? Almost a straight path of that first Overlord, so I would not quite recommend that. Spawning pool is going down here. After that hatchery first, and we have the Reaper on the way. This time nothing with a double Rex. ByuN says, hey, wait a second, my early game wasn't quite brilliant that last game. Felt like I lost a lot of momentum, especially after he lost those 2 Medivacs on the map. Really a turning point in that game number 1. Missing his timing slightly, not quite realizing, hey, Ragnarok is the guy that loves mutas, right? Sometimes you have these... You know these things about players, but if you haven't played them in a while, or haven't thought about them in a while, you just kind of forget. So it's always smart to write these things down. I have a little notebook, like what are the tendencies of these players? And tendencies tend to stick, especially play styles. It's very rare that all of a sudden a Zerg player completely switches 100%. Dark, for example, has been playing Roach Hydra Lurker for such a long time now. Ragnarok is such a fan of the Muta list. That doesn't mean he can't play anything else. He can play Roach Challenge, okay? He can play Link Bane as well, and he's good at that. But his preference, whenever things get weird, usually the main tendency is for people to go to something they're very comfortable with. And last game was kind of weird, and Ragnarok wasn't sure what was happening, and he went back to Mutalisk. And this is something that you always need to take note of, and perhaps ByuN kind of forgot about that last game, or perhaps he didn't think that Mutas could be this fast on the map. Sadly for ByuN, that was actually the case, so yeah, it's gonna be a rough fight here, because Ragnarok is really good, and Atmosphere is a better map for Zerg than Blackburn is. Blackburn really one of those strong Terran maps. Marine is making some extra hours. And we pay double here.
Command center upgrade complete.
Holiday hours. Usually Marines at this point don't have to do too much, they just patrol the main base, but this guy put himself in danger. Probably should be getting paid extra for that. Doubt that's going to be the case though. ByuN sending his Reaper back home after a successful journey towards the other side of the map. Assassinated 2 links. We'll take his trophies back home. We'll sell the skin. That would be cool, wouldn't it? If you could return like the skins that you pick up with a unit, and then you sell it at like a merchant or something. It's like Zergling skin is cheap, and depending who hunts it as well, you know. Marauder, kind of like in Red Dead Redemption. If you shoot them with like a bigger gun, then the skin gets damaged more. So the Reaper killing an Ultralisk would be a very high quality Ultralisk skin still left. And you can sell it to the merchant. Get a little bit of money. Like some third type of resource, you know. But in order to do that, you do need to return it. Also slows down the unit if you carry the skin. Could be a third layer of StarCraft II. I've been in contact with the StarCraft intern who's taking care of everything StarCraft related. And I'll send an email about this to him, but I kind of like the idea. If you guys have any suggestions what you could sell it for, gas, minerals, or maybe some third type of resource, you should leave that in the comments. We have a little bit of a drive-by here. Oh, he's going all the way in. I did not expect that. After those initial few shots, I really thought he was going to move out. And I'm not a massive fan of that. Loses 2 extra cars here, 2 more than I think he should have. Ragnarok, very clean early game. Creep spread, not looking the hottest though. But worker count is looking absolutely beautiful. Once again, this was a 2-base opener here. Relatively late 3rd base. And usually how you differentiate 2-base from... Ooh, this is great. Ragnarok sees it though. Look at that. He's paying attention. It's cool that he moved towards the Banshees, but didn't actually have Overseers ready, so that's kind of pain as well. It's gonna lose 2-3 workers for that. Good micro coming out of ByuN. Not quite sure why I'm surprised, but it did look nice. So yeah, the main difference between what we call 2 and 3 CC isn't necessarily that the 3rd CC goes down after the barracks, because this 3rd CC went down before barracks 2 and 3. So if this was a TVP matchup, we still would call it a 3CC opener. But in TVZ, most things are with a third CC before 3 racks. It is just the standard. So then when we say it's a 2 CC opener, this what we mean is that you take a second gas before a third CC. So even though it is the same race, in different matchups, the same name, we don't have the same naming conventions. It took a lot longer than I wanted to explain exactly what I wanted to say, but we got there in the end. It's like a road trip, except we hit a tree midway through. We had to walk the rest of the road trip. Still was fun though. Sang some songs. Actually, do you do on a road trip? I don't have friends, so I don't go on road trips. I also don't have a car, so I don't go on road trips. And I can't sing, but I always thought that was the big thing of the road trip. You know? Whenever you have the playlist on Spotify with road trips, there are always these nice sing-along tunes. The ultimate road trip playlist. Sometimes when I'm alone in my room, I install the little steering wheel that I have from when I used to play GTA 3 on. I put on the playlist and I sing along to cardboard cutouts of people that I found on Instagram that look cool. I play a pretend road trip with my cardboard friends. My girlfriend walked in on me doing that the other week. We had a long conversation after that. 1-1 has finished up for ByuN here, who is controlling the map in a very professional way. Once again, we have Mutas here, by the way. Beautiful control out of Ragnarok there. Lost 3 links, but did manage to activate that mine with only a single, and that was so nice. That was such good control, and that really isn't easy. People... Oh! But that was 20 kills on a single mine. Well, no, can't win them all. Can't win them all. Gotta pick your battles, and yeah. I mean, it wasn't unsuspected, we don't mind. It's really how mines are supposed to be used. 4CC is going down, and it's also going down in the sense that these mutas are gonna take it out. Gets a cancel. Looks like a mini nuclear explosion there if you get the cancel on that CC. It's quite satisfying indeed if you're a Zerg player. Big push forward here though, coming out of ByuN, and Ragnarok says, hey, you have a crap ton of stuff. I just lost a lot of links to a single mine. I don't think I can actually defend this, even though his supply looks healthy, he has decent upgrades. He says, you know what, I'm gonna go for another base trade, but this time ByuN is a lot more ready for that. Nice secondary wall being set up as well. No banelings are in this army, no mines either though, so Ragnarok perhaps still looking for some damage, expands toward that far left side and keeps his income high. And that's what's important here for the Zerg. He always is mining off of 4 bases. I think Ragnarok's playing a fantastic game once again. He really is playing a fantastic game. He's not as far ahead as in that first game, so it's harder. And his creep spread is pretty mediocre, but his unit movement is just so great. And the way he controls these mutas and how he finds opportunities to sweep in with links is, yeah, just a high-class mutalist player. High-class mutalist player. You have 15 more banelings on the way. You already have 16. 15 plus 16. 31 in total. I should be capable of dealing with this army as long as there's creep, but the creep is quickly disappearing. There's still 7 queens, but creep spread hasn't really been rebooted yet, which is odd. It really is quite odd. I'm not a fan of it. Creep spread is so important, even with Lingbane Muta, even though I know he loves to counter attack and then force his opponent deep onto creep. Good micro there. Ragnarok, that was nice. Send in a single link forward, 19 more banelings on the way. There's already a lot of banelings, but this is an off-creep fight, and there's a couple of mines that are well spread out. ByuN's micro is a little bit too good for that. 2-2 finished midway through as well. I don't think Ragnarok is aware of that. Didn't trade too poor and cleans up the mine, so end of the day, I'm not even too upset with that fight. I feel like that 3rd CC or 4th CC has been cancelled twice. Once over here already. 10 minutes and a 4th CC still not done. There's no mines here in this marine army. Ragnarok fighting off creep is so dangerous. Thor's about to join in the fun as well. Hellbat's moving forward. But this was not it. You can't kill a Terran on their side of the map, especially if you don't have creep on their side of the map. And there really is no creep right here, right now. No counterattack is being set up, but the mutas are trying to sweep around, maybe catch some of the reinforcements. There is no overseer with this though. Is there overlord speed? Yep, there is. But no overseer means that the mines are going to be really annoying to deal with here for Ragnarok. Ragnarok realizes that and says, hey, I think I might actually need to go back. Marauders are tanking the banelings. No mines in this army though, is there? Where's the mines? Okay, 2 mines are moving forward. Mutas are trying to take out reinforcements. Sensor tower, no, can be taken out. Thor is there. Thor is here. Thor is there. These are taken out, right? Oh, a lot of marines from the side. Still no mines, though. Banelings are just move commanding into the incorrect area. Not the worst trade for Ragnarok, but not the most brilliant trade either. Thor ends up going down. Still no mines with that army. Where's all the mines at? Finally, 4 mines are showing up. A lot of them in the same location. And Ragnarok says, okay, that's it. I don't think I can take that. And I think he needs to start thinking about retaking this right side base and perhaps counterattacking once again, because he's going to get pushed, and he's going to get pushed hard. He needs to get some creep spread here, but on top of that, this area is so difficult to defend. How is he even going to be able to defend that? 4 tumors are being pushed forward. Don't think that's going to survive, though. ByuN won't let it happen. Couple of mines now in forward positions. Good big mine hits. Also taking out big part of ByuN's army. 1 more mine hit's not gonna take too much out, and actually a pretty decent fight here for Ragnarok, who's sending banelings into a location where nothing is. Kind of wins this fight. Wow, that was a really nice fight. Shouldn't be pushing too far though, should be careful. Banelings have disappeared, his muta count still is high, and he has a lot of gas in the bank currently. On top of that, there is an issue here in that I don't even think he has an infestation pit. He's not gonna be going into a hive. We don't have any Mutalisk upgrades, so these Mutalisk, even though they are in vast numbers, they don't have that great upgrades. Their upgrades kind of suck. And once 3-3 finishes up and vehicle planning starts playing a role, I'm starting to get a little bit afraid. I like this move here out of Ragnarok. I like that a lot even. It's forcing a lot of reinforcements to be rallied there. We have a big Ling run by as well that I'm not sure if I like as much, because there's also a big army on his doorstep. Okay, here comes the run by, here comes the run by. What's at home? There's plenty at home here. Sensor tower gets taken out. Ragnarok is going to try to engage, but he realizes he can't. He's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, but manages to squeeze out into that more eastern location, that eastern pathway. Banelings perhaps looking for a flank, but flanking off creep into a watchtower is one of the more difficult things in life. Decent mine hit, yeah. Even though this is being pushed back, oh, big mine hit, and there's still a lot of banelings. I'm starting to become afraid, because there's such a good kind of launch pad here from which ByuN can launch all of his attacks, and he can always just kite back to this planetary. There's not enough creep to take. Oh no, Ragnarok, 1 second. Where the attention isn't on point, where the minimap awareness isn't brilliant. 6-7 mutas fall immediately, 4 are being rebuilt, hive is on the way, and he needs the hive. He needs to transition into ultralisk. He's sacrificing a lot of banelings, but he takes out a planetary. This would have been a great move if he had a bunch of banelings still on that left side, but he doesn't. He's going to be taking out these forces as well. The baneling count is just so darn small right now, and this is what worries me. The counterattack is, there's only 3 banelings here. If he had 10-12 banelings here, he could stop this perhaps. Oh, these mutas are taking a fight. There's actually no anti-air here. Ragnarok is taking good fight after good fight. This needs to be a pickup. Oh, 3-3 bio though against pure links. Careful Ragnarok. Banelings are coming in. Save the day. 180 supply against 152. Oh, Ragnarok is careful of that mine. 5 links to a single mine. That's fine. This command center is going very low as well. Mutalisks are going back home. It is currently 6 base against 3. And we have 3,500 mineral income against 800. Army count is very healthy for ByuN, and 3-3 is still a long way away. It is still far removed from where we're currently at. Big mine hit actually only ends up hitting 3 links. A potentially big mine hit is what I should have said. 13 medavacs in this army. This base is not a planetary yet either. We're gonna need to lift that up, ByuN. Yep, ByuN's army is looking mighty. It's looking massive. It's looking good, and the baneling count is small. We're gonna need more banelings here. Where are your links? All your links on the other side of the map. That means there's no banelings in production right now on the side of Ragnarok. These links are gonna run in, but I think these mines did a number on them. 11 kills, 20 kills respectively. Oh, banelings are moving forward, but I just don't think there is enough banelings. Marines in the back still doing a lot of damage. 174 supply against 164, 120 in army against 82. And even though the income has been so far in favor of Ragnarok. The fights have been going in favor of ByuN, and I think that might just be the deciding factor, as ByuN is pulling way too far ahead in army supply right now. The game still looks close in regular supply. That's not going to be too important here. Banelings once again moving in. Marines are gonna get hit this time around, but I think there might just be a little bit too much ByuN. Mutas are running low, no more Banelings are left, and there's plenty of bio as ByuN takes game number 2 and pushes Ragnarok into game number 3. Alright, game number 3 has started between Ragnarok and ByuN. We're in it. Beautiful Shopify Rebellion logo. I really do like that logo. Classic black and white colors. Back when there was no color TV. Truly a classic. Talk about not having color TV. I watched a fantastic movie a couple of months back called 12 Angry Men. A buzzing, I think it's called is it a courtroom drama? Perhaps. And it's, I'm usually not a big fan of these older movies, because the pacing tends to be quite slow, the acting subpar, and the graphics complete garbage, but 12 Angry Men is something that I would definitely recommend, even to the younger viewers. In my case, the younger viewers are people below 35, as whenever I check the metrics, the analytics, I see that I have more people above 65 watching my videos than people below 18. So if you are from the Zoomer generation, be sure to post your TikTok link in the comments. And to confirm that you're genuine, be sure to say no shot or no cap in there as well. And hello to everyone above 65, of course. It's a pleasure to have you around. It's a pleasure to have these people around. Back when there were no cars yet, when they were young. Many people don't realize, but cars only got invented very recently. And these people saw the invention of cars, guys. That's something to be proud of as well. They saw history happen in front of them. And without cars, no Hellions. Without Hellions, no Terran. Because how would Terran win TVZ? And that is what we owe the boomer generation. We owe them gratitude for inventing the car. I think it was Henry Carr who invented the first car. And he automated the process as well. Assembly line. Very efficient. All of these are facts. You can find them on Wikipedia. ByuN went for a SCV scout. An SCV scout. A SCV scout. I'm not quite sure which one it is. I'm sure some people tell me. 6 links. 6 links. This is respect. Okay, this is respect. You play against a guy with the Reaper control of ByuN and you say, okay, 4 links, I will lose 2 of my links, but with 6, I can keep all of them alive. And it will cost me 1 drone. Well, actually loses 1. But I shouldn't be losing too many links then. And that's just respect. Okay, this is not the standard. The standard is 4 links. Against people with very bad Reaper control, you only build 2. But this is respect out of Ragnarok here for ByuN. He says, okay, I know your Reaper control is good. I'm gonna get 6 links. And I'm fine with that. I'm completely okay with that. You don't have to pretend that you're equal in your opponent everywhere. If you have weaker things in your play, you don't have to play theoretically perfect. If you think the result will be worse than playing non-theoretically perfect. And I think that's what Ragnarok did here. He realized his weakness and he realized the strength of his opponent. He said, I'll sacrifice a drone for that. And I like that. I appreciate that. It can be difficult to admit these things because you know it's not theoretically perfect. It is not optimal play. And I know that Ragnarok is aware of what optimal play is. I know he knows. And he knows he knows. And ByuN knows he knows. All 3 of us are in agreement there. Once again, a 2-base opener out of ByuN here. 2-base Hellion Banshee. Also known as the Noob Killer. Or the Noob Basher. This build used to be. If you were a lot better than your opponent back in the day in Heart of the Swarm, in Wings of Liberty, you'd open 8 Hellions, 2 Banshees. And from there on out you could always control someone that was worse than you. Because with the movement of these units, you could just get so far ahead if someone was a lot worse than you. And it's impossible to die to Roach Alliance. Which made it such a perfect build order for Terrans. Armory's on the way as well. We're going to be seeing a Hellbat push coming out of ByuN. We are going to be seeing a Hellbat push coming out of ByuN. With 2 Hellbats. Oh, sorry, 2 Banshees. It's going to be Hellbat Banshee. We're going to be seeing 8 cars. I see 8 cars. You see a third CC behind this. And we have no barracks on the way yet, but should be coming out soon. I'm surprised we're not seeing them build yet. Okay, third CC first. Hellbats are not doing much of anything. Oh my god, that Spore, the detection range. What is that detection range, ladies and gentlemen? That is slightly too much. Interesting drone positioning. It's going to only lose 2 drones there. That is an investment into an armory. That's investment into 2 Banshees. That is a delay on the third base. And we now have 13 drones extra on the way here for Ragnarok. And the question here for ByuN is it still worth it for him to go into these Hellbats? I think the answer is no. A hard and resounding no. We're playing on Lightshade, which is one of the best zerg maps. These videos are surprising me, by the way. We're playing Blackburn, one of the better Terran maps. And we're playing Lightshade, which is considered the best zerg map in the current map pool. This is a best of 3. Why didn't they veto those? Maybe it was a weird veto process. I don't know. No clue what tournament this is from. You see these replays and I click them, you know? I'm the ultimate replay consumer. I don't think. I let my gut speak to me. Oh, Hellbat transformation. That's an interesting one. I don't understand that. I really don't understand. I just don't get that. What did... He turned them into Hellbats to run away slower. That made no sense to me. Maybe he thought he could go and then he realized, wait, I can't. And then he decided, well, it will take too long for me to transform again. I'm just going to walk out. It looked very silly, though. That looked very, very silly. Things are going to be taking out these rocks. Spire, once again, 3rd game in a row. Like I said, Ragnarok is a Spire user. A Muta abuser. A bio diffuser. Okay, that's it with the rhymes. 71 workers. Very good early game once again here for Ragnarok. Floating a little bit of money, but that's not weird. He needs to spend that gas on the Mutalisk. Needs to spend a lot of money on the Mutalisk as well, but still has some gas or some minerals remaining, and a lot of minerals actually. There are 800 minerals. That's a lot of minerals. This could have been a 145 versus 120 supply game, but instead we're 132. That is surprising. That is surprising. Ooh, tanks on a good position, get a couple of pot shots off. Hellions are going to be joining up as well, but just at the same time these links are moving out. I actually think ByuN realized that, went back home. This is some great mind gaming going on here. These 2 tanks need to be defended. Oh, there's going to be a single snipe there. There's going to be a snipe on at least one of these tanks. Beautiful control on these Mutalisk. The moment he sees these Hellions join up, I think the links are going to fly across the map. These links are going to... Ooh, that's a missed move command. That is a missed move command. Is it? Yeah, just a poor army split there. He's going to lose a bunch of links. Hellbats are joining the fight as well. And now there's no links available for a counterattack. And actually, there's not enough larva here. Once again, 600 minerals. Lots of money being saved up here for Ragnarok. He's getting a 5th base. Once that one gets going, he'll probably have a couple of extra larva. But that will still take about a minute. These Marines are stimming in. We'll be able to take out these Mutas if they decide to turn around and try to fight. +1 attack air is on the way this time around. And even though that early game looked really clean, right now I'm not actually liking the position too much here for Ragnarok. 160 supply against 157. Hellbats are in the fray. Big Ling run by. He saw the Hellbats after all. And he was like, hey, wait a second. If your Hellbats are here, what do you have at home? The answer is a tank and a bunch of Marines actually. 4C is going to get taken out. This is the Ragnarok Classic at this point. A lot of Marines are going to die here. Or sorry, SCVs are going to die here. 11, 12 SCVs die immediately. No control on the links though. It's going to lose a lot of links. That could have been 3 kills. It could have been at a loss of 5 links. He's going to end up losing about 40. Still a trade in my opinion. That was worthwhile. He's putting his opponent relatively all in. 11 more Banelings are on the way. 25 already on the map. Creep spread once again mediocre at best. Now it's time for the Mutalisk to run around. He took out the turret and he wants to see if he can do some damage. A lot of these guys are damaged. Quick response time out of ByuN here. Such a quick response time. Our SCV goes down. ByuN needs to be careful. Doesn't have a fort base on the way. He's building a Thor right now. Fort base is being built on the high ground. Respecting his opponent's Muta control. Respecting his opponent's run-bys. A lot of respect coming from both sides here. And a lot of banelings coming from one side here. Yeah, a small run-by. And what Ragnarok will attempt to do right now is see, hey, when is this move out? He'll see the move out. And then these banelings and links want to go in ASAP. Oh my god, a beautiful scan out of ByuN. Sees, hey, I know what you did last summer. And I know what you did last time I moved out. I'm not gonna let that happen again. These SCVs are gonna stay safe as the Marines come back. The tank sieged up. Depot wall gets rebuilt. Very nice response time. Very good game sense. Good instincts here out of ByuN, who's gonna go for another push, leaving almost nothing at home. No, scratch that, leaving nothing at home. But now going back, his instincts are so on point. He's just feeling his opponent's playstyle. Oh, 3-4 mutas going down. ByuN in a very good aggressive position as well. Upgrade slightly better for him. Ground carapace is about to finish up though. And the baneling count is high. It's massive. 12 workers went down here. I have no clue how. I wasn't paying attention. Neither was ByuN for a second there. Happens to the best. Banelings, weird move command here. Gonna fly through the middle. Gonna run through the middle. I think these links and banelings need to retreat for now. Oh, ByuN's not paying attention. These Marines are gonna die. That means a couple more SCVs are gonna die as well. 13 SCVs down. 19 will go down in total. 22. What is the baneling count right now? 32 SCVs total. There's no mines in this army. There's 3 tanks though. But I think this is potentially the final fight. Both ways this could go. And this seems to be going the way of ByuN because there's not enough banelings right now. Oh, I spoke too quick. 13 more banelings. Pick up, pick up, pick up. No pickup available. Or pickup was available. Wasn't being used. Drilling claws is being researched. 4 mines are here. 41 SCVs against 77. That means that the army count is extremely close. Ragnarok doesn't want to be giving up this position. He's gonna go in. These medevacs are running low on energy right now. Thor's putting in a lot of damage. But not quite getting the kills. Good pickup here on the Thor. 100 supply against 125. Army supply still in favor of ByuN, but a lot of that is in medevacs. That is not quite what you want. Brilliant run-bys coming out of our Korean Zerg player. And every second that goes by right now is a second that is in favor of Ragnarok. Because Ragnarok is outmining his opponent almost threefold. Has good upgrades. There's no 3-3 on the way here for his opponent. Which means he's not on a timer in any way, shape or form. And his opponent most definitely is. 20 extra banelings are on the way. Gonna be going up to 24 banelings. Overlord is pooping its creep on this fort base location. 13 Mutalisk. Trying to fly around. Sweep in, sweep out. Shake it all about. Still no overseer here though, so you might clear that mine temporarily, but it will come back to bite you in the bum if you're not careful, Ragnarok. See what these 2 mines just did? Pulled the entire Mutaflock back, and this allowed ByuN to move out without there being a counterattack available. Mine is gonna burrow, it's gonna get a big hit there. Good first hit, 9 kills on a single mine. This mine is going to be capable of doing anything. Not the greatest control out of ByuN, but it's going to be good enough at least for now. Another mine hit. Not the biggest. I thought it was going to be way bigger. We even saw a retarget coming out of ByuN there. Fort base is trying to land, not quite succeeding yet. 3-3 is on the way now, so ByuN decided, hey, I think if I just keep rebuilding SCVs and if I mule properly, maybe I can continue on in this game. I'm not quite sure. 29 banelings are here. Single mine. Oh, it's gonna trigger on a lot of these Mutalisks. Takes out a bunch of the links as well. Can we get a move in? Can we get a move in? I think we can. Ragnarok is moving forward. Banelings are rolling in and we see a lot of these Marines running for their dear life. And when this is the situation, I don't even mind attacking into Terran, honestly. Our good friend ByuN still has decent army supply, but I don't think he can quite defend his SCVs. He can defend his 3rd base. His fort went down as well. There's no banelings anymore in this army, so repair will be very useful. 5 more mutas on the way. What is the baneling count? Baneling count is at 0, but there's plenty of links and there's enough creep where it will delay his opponent from just straight up moving on to that creep. 58 supply. Once again, 14 of that supply is going to be in medevacs. A lot of supply is going to be in this Thor. There's not enough mines. There's a crap ton of Marines and there's a couple of Marauders. Ragnarok still needs to be careful because look at his army supply. His army supply isn't actually that massive. He's lucky, or else lucky, did a good job making sure that the creep stays alive this game, or he gets respreading the creep. Because without creep, this could be a similar scenario to the last game. Right now, ByuN says, well, I don't think I can actually just push out like last game because there's creep. I need to scan the creep first. He doesn't have the mine count yet. He needs a mine count. He needs 4 to 6 mines before he can move out. Infantry weapons level 3 are about to finish up. The Mutas turn around and fight these Marines anyway. He says, I think I'm going to be absolutely A-okay. 2 mines moving in. We'll kind of give a point of safety here for this command center. Overseer is popping in though. 3 overseers are going to be flying in. Oh, snipes 1 mine. And we'll fly out. Yeah, the Baneling count is just growing. Ever-growing Baneling count. What has been the... Oh my god, the APM of Ragnarok is always so high. 606 on average. ByuN on a mere 368. Of course, for zerg it's a little bit easier to get higher APM because of how they use rapid fire on their keyboard. But still, impressive APM here coming out of Ragnarok, who is around 115 army supply. And even though usually you say, well, after you hit 200, your army isn't actually increasing in power anymore, but with zerg that's the opposite. The higher your army supply, even if you hit 200, you can still increase the value of your army by making more banelings. There's already 60 on the map. For every marine, a baneling and a half. Is that how it works? I think so, yeah. Alright, here comes the move in out of Ragnarok. Wants to take out a bunch of workers. You're not going to be able to catch the army, but you might be capable of catching a couple of SCVs. Banelings are moving in. 6 workers go down. Not the biggest of deals. What ByuN is doing right here is he's not rebuilding any SCVs. He just wants to max out. He wants to max out and fight. That's all he cares about. Needs to be careful though. He has 3 Thors in this army. 80 Mutalisk. And these Thors are going to be very effective against that. Can't be moving out too far forward though. Because then his assembly line or his reinforcement line gets taken out. These Mutalisks are flying in, taking out a couple of SCVs. Oh, Ragnarok is actually going in. Ragnarok is going in. He needs to be going to Hive because he wants to be capable of remaxing on Ultras here. He needs to also be working on Larva count, which is exactly what he's doing. 16 Larva already in there. A couple of Mutalisks are falling. But so is the mine count, and that's what's very important. If the mine count remains low, I'm having a difficult time seeing good fights being taken here for ByuN. Here come the Banelings, here come the Banelings. No split on these Banelings yet, they're just being rallied in, shift queued in. Now they're being controlled and they're gonna get 12, 13, 14, 19 workers. Meanwhile, Ragnarok expanding all over the map. This gives them the possibility to potentially counterattack. Counterattack with a lot of units and just give up a base. Try to defend with 20, 30 Banelings while you're counterattacking with everything else. He can just go towards the top side anyway. Here comes that counterattack. It's a small counterattack. It's a tiny counterattack, but I think it is going to be good enough. There's a lot of Banelings in this army. There's also a lot of Marines here, and now we see the use of these right side bases. He can just give up a base, no problem. Here comes a flank, here comes a flank. No mines in this army, 1 mine in the back, 1 mine in the front. Big hit from that first mine. Thors are tanking a lot of damage here as well. None of the Thors going down. Ragnarok needs to be careful. He's taking very sloppy fights once again. Ling Run By is finally starting to do some damage. There's a lot of mules available here for ByuN. ByuN once again pulling ahead. Oh, I don't think you can kill that Thor, buddy. I don't think you can kill that Thor. It's going to cost him 1 Mutalisk. 3 SCVs end up going down. This base will go down. Ragnarok needs to be careful here. Ragnarok just wasted a big portion of his bank. 4 Thors are here, and now come the Ultralisk, the Adrenal Glands, the 3-3, the Chitinous Plating, the +2 for the air attack. All of these things are going to help Ragnarok. Another good run by Banelings are going to be of the essence here. We'll get a mediocre hit. I'm not sure if we can call it a mediocre hit. Another counter attack. Another attack here out of Ragnarok, who says, hey, as long as you're on your side of the map, you're not on my side of the map. That means I'm safe. That means I'm outmining you. That means I'm keeping you busy. And even if I'm trading inefficiently, I don't need to. I'm outmining you so hard, you don't have the potential to mine more. You'll never be able to take any bases. Look at these mules. These mules, a couple of those are gonna fall. Good snipes coming out of Ragnarok. Needs to be cool. Lost 3 for Mutalisk there. Now the Ultras are moving forward. Not enough Marauders in this army. Not enough Mines in this army. G gets called from ByuN. Taps out. Ragnarok wins the series 2-1. If you did enjoy this series, that would be great time to subscribe to the channel. Almost at 15k. Maybe by the time this video hits already at 15k. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you all next time. And bye bye.